Right then, we are live. Having had a little bit of green room chat with the one and only Dave Brink.
Woo!
Lovely jubbly. Right, we are going to do a prelude before we get to it. We're honoured that Dave gave up his time and his own podcast to be our special guest tonight. Our show's humble intention is to be a personal testimony and business card for Dave Brink and Genuine Comics. Hit the go live button. Just done that. And you never know. I think you know what we need to do now is do the show trailer. Shall we do it?
Yes.
We love it when we do that. A bit of Hitchcock, a bit of Planet of the Apes. What do you think, Master Brink?
Yeah, it gets you in the mood, right? It's like now things are happening, you know?
We're going in
It's
for
like
some alpha talk tonight. Dave Brink,
Kyle, I'm
you
so happy
have.
to be here.
It's kind of been a long time coming, this. We've been wanting to have you on the show for a little while now, and you have fought gallantly, worthy of recognition, and at the wild frontier of indie comics. A powerful Sith you will be.
A Sith?
Oh, Brink. Who we got? We got somebody in here straight away. So it's hello from Dave Brink at Genuine Comics. Hello, everybody. And who we got in the hall tonight? Greetings and
Mike.
salutations, most excellent of European dudes. Who's this?
That's Mike.
Mike, fan of GDN, Genuine Darkside. A Darkside companion. Is he your apprentice, Master Scythian Brink?
Scythian Brink. Yeah, Mike is a regular. He always watches the show. He supports Genuine Comics. We appreciate Mike.
We're going to say welcome, Mike. Absolutely thrilled to have you in the chat tonight. Maybe you can cook a rather nice question from the Democlesian question master that is Dave. He always, when he hops into the 5 Pillars of Storytelling chat, he always comes up with the best chat questions. They are as sharp as any sword. So yes, let's go to our next slide. The 5 Pillars of Storytelling is all about art, comics, movies, games, and toys. A golden thread through 5 eyes of a needle. The umbrella, of course, of these 5 quote-unquote niches is the 5 Pillars of Storytelling. Storytelling, of course, unites us all by care of our immortal souls. So Azrael is going to be talking to special guest Dave Brink tonight. It's Sunday, the 23rd of November. We're talking Safeguard. It's 7 p.m. UK GMT London time. Host introduction. Then it's going to be all about, 100% all about Dave Brink. Host introduction. Hello there. Welcome to the 5 Pillars of Storytelling Live, where we talk art, comics, movies, games, and toys. I'm your host, Azrael, storyteller and artist, promoter of indie creators, indie comics, and the indie comic community. Our style is universal. We can be watched by creative families. So it's child-friendly. Our motto is to listen, to learn, and share. Inspiring quote, comics are an international language. Oh, yes. And they can cross boundaries and generations, from manga in the East to Angoulême in France. Been there. Comics are a bridge between all cultures. Osamu Tezuka, legend. Now, guest introduction. We're going to say it so he doesn't have to. Most creators are very modest, and we're going to be immodest for him. Dave Brink, here's some pros for you. Dave Brink at Genuine Comics on X, based in Limburg, Netherlands. Now, who'd have thought that an indie comics empire would come from there? But always from the most unexpected and assuming places they are. CEO of Genuine Comics, responsible for titles like Earthling, Dream Girl, Sleeper Agent, and Perfect 10, which we've got at least 3 issues of, including the #1 issue. Critical Blast winner of Best Writer, no surprise, and Best Comic of 2021, no surprise, as well as the upcoming Safeguard, which looks like being the vanguard of indie comics. Welcome, indie comic creative leader and special guest. Most honored are we, Dave Brink.
Thank you, man. You're making me like it's too much praise, man. Too much praise. I just make comic books, you know.
I know. Hey, we sometimes, you know, we are a kind of show which is a bit like a psychiatrist's couch. Master Brink, you come and sit down on this special couch. Tell us about your father. And where can you go as a guy to talk about you? Unless you pay for it. Just an interesting thought, rhetorical question. So, how about we go to the next slide and just get to it? Are you, Dave Brink, leader at the Wild Frontier of Comics, ready for the big 5 questions?
The big 5 questions. Those are the big 5 pillars of storytelling also, coincidentally.
Oh, in a manner of speaking.
Right. Sure.
The who, what, and why of Dave Brink, Genuine Comics, and all he fights for. Who is Dave Brink? Storytelling influences, art journey, movies, music. And that's before we get to 1A. We did a little bit of extra questioning, tailored our show, exquisitely fine-tuned because it was you, Dave.
Wow. You put in the work, man. That's a lot, man. Storytelling influences our journey, movies, music. Who is Dave Brink? Yeah, that's, you know, that's one of the toughest questions. Who is Dave Brink? I could just tell you my background leading towards making comics, you know, which kind of stems from me being a awkward kid. I tried to be social when I was a kid. We like moved around, and so I didn't have much time to make friends. And if I tried to make friends, I had this tremendous stutter, you know, so it wasn't easy. And I kind of retreated into reading and drawing. So I started with reading comics, of course, like the Donald Duck, you know, those things, and then later on I discovered superheroes, and that was my jam. I was like, what is this? This is fantastic, and it was so the very first superhero comic that I ever was exposed to, that I got it from someone. I don't even remember who I got it from, but it was this Treasury edition, a crossover between Spider-Man and Superman. It was written by Marv Wolfman and Jim Shooter, and
God bless him.
These names meant nothing to me back then, right? It was all completely new, but it was translated. We had this little company here in the Netherlands. They translated like the American comic books, the bigger titles, right? And I had this book, and I was like, "This is fantastic! Like who are these characters? This is..." So I wanted to know more about these characters, you know, and I started to seek out more of these comics. And so this little company called Junior Press, they released several titles like The Hulk. I read The Hulk. I read Fantastic Four, all Dutch, you know. And some of them were like literally translated in the title also. You had like back in the day, Spider-Man was called Spinneman, like like Dutch, you know, and the Hulk was called the Rauwe Bonk. It was really stupid, but that was it back then. And later on, they started to adopt the English titles, you know. Anyway, I discovered there was a lot, and I learned that there were like two major publishers. So the Superman, Spider-Man characters didn't belong together in the same universe. These were all things that I had to learn, right? And but I love these books, and I kind of knew when I was very young that that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. I wanted to make these books. I wanted to work for Marvel, you know, and I like drawing, so I drew these characters, and I tried to copy, I tried to learn from comics how to draw these characters, um, and um, and then much later when I was a little bit older, and I that was around the time that Image Comics came up, and which I I went to the school, which was a creative school, so a lot of creative people there. It was like a advertisement school, like it's very broad. You had a lot of classes, a lot of things you could learn there. But I liked these Image comics, and then I just read the imported material, right? So Image was basically never translated during that time, and I read like English language comics. I got them from comic book stores, and I was kind of like, why can't we do that? Like something like Image, start our own thing, right? Um, so I made this little flyer in school. I made this little flyer that I was looking for other students to make comics together, and I posted on the message board. Um, and I took some flyers to some comic book stores, asked if I could hang them there, and people actually responded. So I got like mails from people, and it was so a lot of them came from the school that I was at, but some of them didn't. They were from other schools, so they saw the flyers at the stores, right? And so we gathered. It was really stupid. We we gathered at a train station. Like you had this restaurant there, and we gathered there, and I was kind of like discussing with everyone what my plans were, what I wanted, right? And I basically didn't have much of a plan. All I knew that I wanted to make comic books in with with other creatives, and so some of them brought like portfolios. So we shared drawings, ideas, and and then so every month we joined up. So every month we had this meeting, and we did that for about 5 to 6 years, and we actually made comics together. So we didn't know much about making comics, but we just did it. We learned while we went, and we were still students also, right? So it wasn't much that we could produce, but what we produced were some books that we brought with us to conventions, and we sold them there. And so that was the origin of Genuine Comics. It was called Genuine Comics also. I made some titles. It was Dutch language, and those books are completely sold out. You can't get those no more. Sometimes I hear from people, I got this early Cauldron comic, for instance, and I'm like, I don't even have that book. It's completely sold out, but it was very amateurish. So it's not really like quality, but it's something we did. We actually made stuff, that was the start. And then after these 5 to 6 years, the group fell apart because we needed to grow up, we needed to live life, we needed to work, um, and um, and that kind of lasted for almost 14 to 15 years when I returned to making comics. So I was like, I hadn't made any comics in between, and then in 2014 I started again, and I started with my first issue of Earthling, which was my first English language book, because I thought, if I'm going to reboot or restart this endeavor, Genuine Comics, I want to do it correctly, I want to do it right, and I want to target the largest audience possible, and that's English language, right? So I also took on the American style format with the size. The earlier books we made were European format mostly, like bigger, and that's where it started. So that's where like Genuine Comics. I kind of thought Genuine Comics was over. And then in 2014, I discovered that you could try to do things through crowdfunding.
Yeah.
I put Earthling on Kickstarter, and we funded also. So that was fantastic, and that was the start. I was like, I never stopped ever since. That's basically the long story short.
We have a question for you that is fascinating. The primordial story of Dave Brink and Genuine Comics, but that gap in between, and then the Renaissance. Love it. It's a redemptive Joseph Campbell hero story. Got a question for you from Mike. Did you ever read any of the Carl Parks Scrooge McDuck stories, Dave?
Maybe I didn't pay attention much to the writers. It was just like whatever. I read a lot of these pockets. So you had like these thick pockets with hundreds of pages, and some of those books were probably in there, but I never paid much attention to that. I probably read those, yeah. It was like Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck, and then you had some other characters that had their own stories. So it was a mixture of a lot of things.
Thank you for the question, Mike. Appreciate that. What about movies? Do you have a favorite movie or set of movies that are kind of in Genuine Comics, or you just like because they've helped culturally, in terms of pop culture, forge you as a creator?
I used to like movies more than I do now. I was a real movie fan back in the day when you still had to like go rent your movies at the Blockbuster or whatever it was called. And I watched a lot of movies. I don't have a particular genre that I prefer. It's mostly whatever is good, and whatever works. You have bad movies in every genre, but you also have great movies in every genre. One of my favorite movies ever is Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Like that one.
That movie is practically perfect, and I watch it every year. I love that movie. It makes you feel good. It has that humanity to it that I like. Different characters. The writing is fantastic. It works on many different levels, and sometimes you see movies, and this is like visual spectacle, and there's not much to latch onto on an emotional level, and that's what I'm missing sometimes with modern movies. So I like a lot of movies. I also like sometimes like series, to watch series that are well written, like Breaking Bad. That's one of my favorite series ever. That's so well written and so well constructed, and it's almost like as if the creators knew where they were going with it, but they didn't really. That so later on through interviews with the writers, they were like, yeah, every like episode they had some sort of direction, but you never know where things go, you know. And but they absolutely nailed it. So the entire 5 seasons, there's only one episode within the entire series that you can remove, and the rest is flawless.
Little comment here from Mike again.
Yes.
Makes a good point. That was great to listen to. That was great to listen to. Hey, Dave, you increased, honed, and refined confidence in public speaking is uplifting to hear. Good man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think Mike knows that I talked about that sometimes. That I started my YouTube channel to basically sell comics. You know, I didn't want to be dependent of other people. I used to go. I was invited on other people's channels to talk about my campaigns, which was amazing. I was very grateful, but I wanted to do something I wanted to give something back, and I struggled with the concept of starting my own YouTube channel because I was very nervous about it, very anxious. You know, I wasn't really good with just talking. I didn't think I was interesting, so I had to find a particular format also for a show, and this show that I'm doing right now every week works the best for me because I can interview someone else. So the attention is not on me, but I can still talk a little bit about my own campaigns, my own books, right? And then I can help other creators get some eyes on their books for whatever my channel, how far my channel can take that. It's very limited, you know, but all little things can help. Um, and I even took like classes, like public speaking classes, to learn how to talk to a audience. And I those classes, like, those were nerve wracking. I couldn't sleep, you know. Uh, Before going there, I was like, up until the last minute, every time I was like, how can I, like, I have to call in sick or whatever, you know. But I went because I knew that I had to go through this in order to be able to sell comic books. Also on conventions, I needed to go to conventions and talk to people, and these are all things that I had to learn. And my channel, so forcing myself every week to do the show. I did my 200th show last week, right? And
Congratulations, Dave.
thank you, sir. Yeah, and I have gotten better. I believe it really helps. It really helped me in this aspect. And there are still weeks that still days that I don't really feel like it. I'm like, but after I've done it, I'm really proud that I've done it, you know, and I can feel that it really helps, and it contributes to the success of the comics, I think, because people often want to support people. They want to see who you are. Um, and if they see you are uncomfortable or insecure, I don't think that's beneficial to your brand, you know.
Yeah. Tell you what, got an interesting. I tell you what, your journey to comics and your journey of confidence and your journey of why you're doing the show. We could be brothers separated from space and time, Dave Brink. So similar. It's uncanny valley. Right then, got a few comments from Mike. Dave, have you ever ridden the wrong way down a freeway? I wonder where this is going. As a passenger hostage to a cackling Dale Griffith, Dave.
What? Have you ever ridden the wrong way down the freeway as a passenger hostage to a cackling Del Griffith, Dave? No, no, luckily not.
Not yet.
No.
And another bit, it's a very good point. We call it the power of one. Every little thing helps. It does. It helps. It's like putting that brick in the wall. Put the first brick down. That's your foundation layer. Build out the foundation and build on top of it. Every brick builds the wall.
Yeah.
And here, congratulations there. 200 episodes are no joke. We haven't hit our 100 yet. I think we're heading nearly to 70. So to do 200 episodes of anything shows that you are consistent, that you can be trusted by your audience, that you can be depended on. So many things it adds to your brand. It's called walking the talk. And here, another little comment from Mike. How many TV series make 200 episodes? And they've got all these resources behind them. That's a good question, Mike. Absolute brilliant point.
Yeah. Well, quite some. I know these hospital series. They go on forever. You know.
Yeah. The hospital ones always seem to go on forever. We don't know why that is.
No. By the way, I find those fascinating to watch because I can't imagine myself being able to write one episode of such. You have to work on so many levels to write one episode of a hospital show, like medical knowledge. Then you have the soap aspect. It's so much you have to do.
Did you ever watch House?
Yes, I watched like half a season. I think I watched it with my girlfriend, and she decided that she didn't want to watch it anymore because she didn't like the main character, and I was like, that's kind of the point. But yeah.
Yes, the main character is somewhat obnoxious, to be fair. But once we got into it, it is a very interesting series. But yeah, difficult to identify with the main character. To put it diplomatically, he's challenging. Right, moving swiftly on. 1A, but your girlfriend's spoken, so you're probably going to be watching something else. So 1A, the vanguard of the wild frontier of indie comics from Limburg, Netherlands. Tell us about that.
What precisely? The place where I live? You want to know about that?
Well, don't dox yourself, but we want to know how the most popular brand of indie comics leading at the edge in that market share poll that we caught on Twitter a while back. You were a percentage point or two past your nearest competitor. And we just thought, Netherlands isn't somewhere we associate. Europe, yes, France particularly, Italy, big comic market, Spain as well.
Sure.
But we don't associate, with all due respect, or we certainly don't, Netherlands with comic books. But your story of growing up with those translations, we had Marvel UK. They were black and white for cheap printing reasons. You get the glossy cover, but cheap black and white, thin paper, but they were A4 size, bigger than American format.
Yeah.
To see Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko in this big widescreen noir format was beautiful. So you've vividly conveyed to us that you've got a comics journey, and it was translated into your homeland. But you, indie comics, leading at the wild frontier from Netherlands, tell us about that. You proud?
I don't know if proud is the right word. I don't know. I often approach things from a angle of gratitude, and there are so many factors that contribute to the success of my humble little company. But the fact that it appeals to the American audience largely contributes to that. About 85% of my readers are from the United States. Right, so I tapped into that. In the beginning, people didn't even know that I wasn't American. I think it's my name also, you know. But yeah, I did grow up with comics. It's like this. So the Netherlands, you wouldn't associate that with comics, but it's part of the Franco-Belgian region where you had like a lot of it was kind of normal here to see comics like Tintin, and Asterix.
Of course.
We had some other things like Gust Vlater. I don't think people know that where you are, but so we had this little comic culture here, what was really European. So my kind of my world opened up once I got that first superhero comic. But yeah, so it wasn't like I was unfamiliar with it, culture wise, but it was kind of unconventional that I chose to do American comics when I go to conventions here in the Netherlands. I'm I'm the only one. You see like European style indie creators everywhere, and then my comics stand out because they're English. And oftentimes people ask me if I have like Dutch editions. They rather not read English comics. I don't have those yet because it's the investment for it is not yet worth it. But with my upcoming first trade paperback, that will change. So slowly, I'm hoping to to get some more ground here where I am. So in the Netherlands and in Belgium. So I'm going to conventions in Belgium also. So slowly expanding through Europe. But it's strange that it kind of started in the United States.
How do you say genuine comics? Got to ask this in your native tongue, Dave.
Genuine Comics in Dutch.
Dutch.
Oprechte strips.
We can't wait for that Dutch edition. We think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
We think it's the way to go to increase your reach. If you've got a domestic audience, there could be a huge untapped gold mine of native Dutch comic readers who are thinking, hey, this guy's the one. Hey, he's the only one. You're not the only one, but you are the modern version of what we think of as indie comics, taking the superhero fight to the not so big two, and we know who they are. And with your Parisian gleaming art, that's something the US market can identify with. So between that, adding the Dutch market, and possible even maybe, we're going to just stir the pot here, possibly manga editions on the horizon to that huge, colossal Japanese market. Rhetorical thought. Now we're going to move swiftly on while Dave just wraps his head around those Uber triad. We couldn't resist this. We send out our crack espionage division out to each special guest that we interview. And of course, we feel the trouser leg of the X timeline. And obviously, give it a good shake and see what we can find out. So on your X space, we came across this little jab. Question 1B, indie comics. It's personal. And before we let Dave answer that question, we love this message. Dave Brink, Safeguard, is now on Fund My Comic at Genuine Comics, November the 17th. And we just love this. My girlfriend knows what I like. Got these for my birthday this morning. Thank you so much, babe. Now, she's a keeper. Hang on to her, sir. Not only does she not like House, you can forgive her for that. But if she's getting you Radiant Black and a nice set of Shark headphones, tell us, obviously, without being too, at your discretion, tell us what you can share. You've got a partner there that's clearly with you, shoulder to shoulder in this battle.
Yeah. We recently celebrated our 25th anniversary together.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I lucked out, man. It's she's fantastic. She's very supportive, which you need when you make indie books. It's a lot of work. So this means it takes a lot of time away from her. the finances are always uncertain. Um, it takes up a lot of room, um, you know. So sometimes I have to be like extra nice to her, because she has to. She supports me all the way, and I'm so grateful for that. You need that also, even when things don't go as it's a business. Sometimes you have successes, but you also have failures, and she is there then also, and I couldn't be doing this without her.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, she does know what I like, so I got the radiant black um, trades. I discovered that series through a channel called Converse Comics, and they were reviewing this series, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. I really liked the Invincible um, comics.
Got
I
that?
bought all of those. I have all the trades, I love those. So this was kind of the same feeling a little bit. And she bought me four trades in
Wow.
one go. That's crazy. And I read the first one, and I'm now halfway the second one. And then she bought me the gaming set. I like to game sometimes.
Favorite game?
Right now, I'm playing Overwatch because you can just jump in, play a few games, and jump out. And I like to play Tomb Raider because that's like solo. That's like just you and the game. And
Yeah.
so I bought Tomb Raider Anniversary. Uh, and I don't have much more time to game. But when I do game, I like to do it in short bursts. I don't really game for hours.
Short
Um, Yeah, and then I go back to my writing desk and I start to write things. So yeah,
Our favorite gaming squeeze is City of Heroes from NC Soft and Paragon Studios. It used to be, and now it's a Homecoming team that do it after many years in a secret server kind of rebel base plans, Death Star leaked plans. Found out that it hadn't been killed, that it was actually live on servers in Argentina, and that the game came back after they arranged a public license. Officially came back after they arranged a public license with NC Soft. So the game now is back and official, and we have played far too many hours on that massively multiplayer superhero game. Swiftly on, we've got a question here from Mike. Sweet, another happy birthday to you, Dave, and
Thank
happy
you.
20th anniversary, 25. Wow. How do you like Radiant Black?
I found it surprising. So I read the first 7 issues now. I don't know if you guys know it. I don't know if I should talk about the story, but it's let me just say it has some twists that I didn't see coming, and that's awesome. When you can make something that surprises the reader in a good way, so not like annoy you, like what is this, but in a good way. It has that, but it is still. So the good thing about the series is that it keeps you engaged, and it doesn't really tell you much either, which is remarkable. So it throws more questions to you, at you, and it's so far it hasn't answered many questions. So I'm curious to see where things go.
It's got the right balance of giving you something, but teasing you as well.
Yeah. Usually you have to give some, and then so it's his game. So you don't want to lose readers also, but this manages to keep your attention, at least my attention.
Converse Comics were the ones that got us started on it, and we got our first volume from Amazon, Radiant Black Volume 1. And we also got Massiverse, which is a first issue taster of each of their books in a kind of trade compendium. and
Right.
we just trying to find time to read all these indie comics we've backed amongst all the doom scrolling and promotion that we do, and who knows, maybe even do an indie comic ourselves. He says, tapping a prototype.
What is that your comic?
Yes, classified. We'll have to show you a page. We'll link you a page after the show to yours.
Yes.
DMs.
Yes.
It needs. It's been produced in a usual way. We want some penciling in it. We won't be able to sleep or live with ourselves or look ourselves in the mirror unless we get some penciling in there. So we're going to be doing lots of pencil work, and we'll be talking about the pencil and artwork on your books real soon. Next slide. This is what we like. 1C question. 1C. We looked for an hour on your timeline and everywhere. We were scrambling with jets around about 2:30, and we looked everywhere. And then we thought, there's no use. We're going to have to ask Grok. It was so difficult to find. We had to ask Grok twice, and we got it nailed. And we thank Grok. We got this particular picture. We'll move our little mouse arrow over it on the second swing. Grok baseball bat hit a home run, and we remember when we first saw this, and we did a Creative Leadership Saturday post on it, saying that here is a guy in full command of his business, engaging customers. He's got all this product out on display, open pages so people can look through the books. He's got the pop-up banners, and look at that cathedral, that Dutch cathedral that he's attending with his indie comics empire, CEO that Dave Brink is. I mean, tell us about you, just how you engage your fans, Dave.
I I just display my beautiful books, and when they approach the table, I talk to them, and I have learned that I can't predict who will like my books and who won't, because I sell books to people I don't expect it from, and other people I'm like, this totally your thing, and they're like, nah, so it's I can't predict anything, and that's like a wonderful experience also. This location is a fantastic location. It's in a city called Deventer. And I go there every year. I have my setup there every year, and it's open to the public. It's free entrance. It's
Free
it's in the
entrance.
middle.
Wow.
No, it's a fantastic. So it's still a active cathedral. So they have like what do you call it? The mass, or you have like right every Sunday. And on Saturday we're there, so that's really great, and that's a wonderful one. I try to go to conventions where I don't go to many conventions because, frankly, it's so expensive often that I can't get a return. I'm basically there, and then I have to. It's a financial loss oftentimes. I could still do it to get some to do some branding, to put yourself out there so people know you. But I don't know. It's tough, I can spend money for a table, or I can spend money to produce a page for a comic, and I rather produce the book, and then I go to like 2, maybe 3 conventions per year, and then I do well. So these are like the cheapest tables, because that's worth it. That's worth the time, the effort. Yeah, I wish that I could do more, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and sounds like you do it on a quarterly schedule, which kind of syncs up with your crowdfunders, which seem to be on a kind of quarterly schedule in terms of the logistics of it. Sign up, making the product, and then kind of trying to fulfill the product. Yeah. And
Mm.
there's almost like a wheels within wheels of it. Do you find there is a return when you press the flesh, meeting your real people at your public? You find that there's almost a kind of grassroots kind of vibe where you're getting the sales, you're getting that feedback, customers are going away with a big smile on their face and holding up your product.
Mhm. Yeah, that's of course fantastic. That's interaction with people, and sometimes so people know me, which is also odd that I'm there and people approach my table and they start to talk to me, and I'm like, okay, so this person knows me, but I so online all we see are avatars, and sometimes they don't use the real names, and I so people people think that I recognize them sometimes, and I don't, and then they have to explain like, oh, you're that guy. Okay, it's nice to meet you in person, and that's really awesome, you know. And sometimes I meet new people and they start to follow me also, or I meet other artists and we kind of connect that way. So maybe we can work together sometime. Hey, Marinus.
Yes, yeah. There's a hail from at Darksiders Comics, Marinus. Yes, and yeah, hey Marinus, from Mike in the chat. So yes, you keep touching Mother Earth with conventions, keeping that physical contact with your audience, so they can meet you and you can put a face to the tribe of Genuine Comics.
Yeah, I'm kind of I am the face of Jamie Comics. So yeah.
What does Dave Brink create then? Elevator pitch. If Azrael was to go to Holland and touch Angel Wings down in front of your convention table, what would you do to sell me Perfect 10, Safeguard, Genuine Comics? And added to your elevator pitch, what do you as a writer stand for?
Well, if you would approach my table, I would recognize you. But if I wouldn't recognize you, I would say, hey, do you like American style comic books, but from a Dutch like little company, you know? And then we started to talk about it, you know. Um, what do you as a writer stand for? I that's a different. I think that I like to bring entertainment. I don't. I'm not. I'm not here to bring you like deep stories or or a message or whatever. I just want to have fun. I want to enjoy the things that I write. I want to write the books that I like to read, that I like to buy, I won't sell books that I wouldn't want to buy myself, you know. So those are the kind of so the stories that I'm missing from mainstream nowadays, or stories that I loved when I was younger. That's the kind of vibe that I tap into, and I try to bring to my own books. Just pure fun, man. It's just give people something to escape to for 10 minutes. That's it. So it's not like I have this fancy idea from I'm going to write a masterpiece or whatever. I just want to offer people some enjoyment.
More of a Bronze Era approach, which, to be fair to our colleagues in indie comics, that seems to be where our act of rebellion and revolution is. We won't talk about it, but we know that Captain Kirk's gone crazy and taken over the Enterprise. That's as close as we get, because we don't talk about sex, politics, and religion on this show, and we keep the drama, especially inside the comics. But we like the fact that you just want to have fun. We're going back in time, close our eyes, Dorothy, with our ruby red heels, and click them together. Go back to a time where we could just have fun, and hear us have feet of clay. Now, 2A, what is a genuine comic? Tell us about the art. What kind of comic art must a genuine comic have?
I typically gravitate towards 90s art. So if I look for artists, sometimes I see a art style and I'm like, that's fantastic, and then I just reach out to the artist, and usually it's artists that have that 90s flavor in their work. They are clearly inspired by 90s comics, and you see that. This is why I'm so glad that I got to work with Alan Goldman, for instance.
Yeah.
There's this Jim Lee like thing going on, and Pow. So Pow was very much inspired by Joe Mad. You can see that, and these, I think, this is also the same. So the same concept of the vibe that I'm going for with the writing, also just fun. So I want art to be fun. I don't really like art to be too realistic. It has to be like exaggerated, like like fun to look at. That you're like, wow, it has to have the wow factor.
Yeah. You want realistic? Go watch a movie, take a photograph.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
you want to have some fun, some style. This is what you want as we live and breathe. Good comment here from Mike. That's one of Ten's most terrific posters. He likes the titillating aspect of it, as we say in the UK, a kind of cheesecake element of a very light, saucy aspect to it. We have in Britain we have a tradition called the seaside postcard, saucy postcard humour, and obviously the Carry On movies. If you know about our tradition with postcards and the Carry On movies, then you'll kind of get what we're referencing. But yes, we do like the sensual aspect of genuine comics, and it's done in a genuine way. Here we got here. Hey, Dark Side Comics 1891, how's it going? Azrael's mighty fine, feeling good, because we've got the governor in the halls of the 5 Pillars of Storytelling tonight. Next slide. Business. We've had the personal testimony from his wife, who supports Dave shoulder to shoulder. 4 volumes of Radiant Black tells its own story. That's before you get to the headphones, man. If she's actually funding your gaming time, then whatever you do, look after her. So anyway, business testimony. RC at Ryan Creates 94. We thought we'd have a little nosy around on your time stream on X and see what your general public think about you. So we'll read this. Go and back this book. Dave always puts out the best comics, and you do not want to miss out on this. And if that's not enough for your adoring public and tribe, your own crowdfunder is giving you the butter on your crumpet at fundmycomic.November the 15th. We are live. Movie voice. Check out our product. Check out the product of at Genuine Comics, writing one of the best in the business right now, and jaw-dropping art by at Alan Goldman 3. Yes, that Alan Goldman, legend some say. Don't take our word for it. Check out this campaign today.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
We like that. We like it a lot. We do. Now, business ambition. We're coming back to this little thing that we kind of looked at when we introduced you, and all you stand for. What does this mission statement of an image of Dave's vision mean? Because it says quite clearly here, and this is as good a mission statement as you get anywhere. It's almost like a haiku. One small studio, one big universe. www.genuinecomics.com. By Zeus Lightning Bolt, answer the question.
Once more, yeah. Well, it's look, I work with indie creators, but if you take things to the core, then Genuine Comics is basically me. So that's I hire people, I delegate, I get books out, but and I have a lot of work, or I mean a lot of help right now from companies like Critical Blast, So in that way, it's expanding a little bit, but Genuine Comics is basically just me, and so it's very small. But we think like in a big universe. So all the comics we make, they are connected in the way that in the sense that they are all taking place in this one world, which is fun to do, and that kind of stems from the origin that we started with a group of students in the 90s. And none of these other guys of that group still make comic books. I'm the last one, but the the concept of making a world together is still the same. It's kind of so it kind of remains. And I used a lot of characters from back then that I thought of back then with new ideas, and so this universe was the perfect playground to write stories in. Um, so that's basically where it comes from. One small studio, one big universe. But that doesn't mean that I think too big in terms of business. I think kind of small, like small steps. I don't want to like think in terms of, hey, we're going to do games and toys, and I am just happy when we can make one book, because because making one comic is so much work, and I want to put my time and effort there, make it the best it can be. And with every new book that we make, the company grows. So and where things are in 5 years, I don't know. I don't really think about that. I'm thinking short term. Make the book, done. Make the next book, done. So and together, that's slowly becoming a big universe.
Your gratitude and humility will serve you well. Do you know, we like the way you think. It's so pure. You're a solopreneur, a sole trader, as they might call you in the UK, in not so Great Britain anymore. And you have that sense of just focus on the task at hand. Yeah. And if something big happens, so be it. But for now, we just want to make great products. And we like the fact that you say we. It's not I. And that's also a kind of a signal to your modesty, and that you're the tip of the spear of a very impressive creative team that you hire, with the gold and the pow. Yeah. And we like the fact that you share the credit out on this. And it's we can identify very much with that. One small studio, one big universe. There's no reason why, given the technology we have these days, we can't take the fight, metaphorical fight, to the not so big boys anymore. The days of the not so big two selling millions are over. They're selling relatively small amounts of numbers, 15,000, unless it's a respun absolute book, featuring a certain bat, and it's the same old stuff. Rather give our money to absolute Perfect 10, absolute Brink, and absolute Genuine Comics than absolutely anything else. Just saying. Got another comment from the one and only Mike. Biggest universe I know of in the crowdfunded indie market, at least in regards to the number of characters.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know. It's just, the thing is also, I feel a little bit of pressure to I put this upon myself, right? So I have so many ideas for cool characters, and I want to show them, and I want to integrate them in this universe in organic ways that it works. So when possible, when I find this angle, when I can introduce something new, I will. And it has to do with the fact that because we are just a small little company, we don't release books monthly. Like we have a very low frequency, so if a book comes out, it has to be jam packed with content, um, without getting overwhelming. That's the trick, right? And I like to build this universe. So if we like release 2, 3, maybe 4 books per year, then I can introduce new parts of this growing universe. But I can't do it per month, so we have to work on a different tempo.
So you're marching to the beat of your own drum, and that is also a strength of indie comics, isn't it? That you decide, we decide, we rather than I, we decide. Yeah, like that, together. We like this comment also from Mike as well. Take a look at Genuine's Heroes and Villains art book. Is that still available, Dave Brink, to see how expansive Dave's concepts already are?
Yeah, we have so many
universe,
so many characters, and through the years, we do a lot of, what do you call it, preliminary sketches, right? And designs and character concepts, and I like to hire as many indie artists as possible, but I can only put one per book, right? So I reach out to other artists and give them a promo, like a commission for a promo for a character, for instance. And this could be a character or characters that we are that are featured in comics, but also concepts that we haven't seen yet in stories, right? I just give them like designs and they make a cool poster. And through the years, I collect all this art, and when I have enough, I put it together in a art book called Heroes and Villains. We have 2 issues out right now, and sometimes I just give them for free with shipments from backers. It's better than prints. It kind of came from you can give backers prints, but what do backers actually do with prints? I think they rather have a book. What you basically do is collect all these prints in one book and then send people a book. That's much better.
Do you know an interesting comment here? Let's have a little look at it here. I think I'll put this one up. It's good commentary actually about how indie comics can manifest their own destiny, and it's interesting you're getting this from a reader, a fan, a true fan by the sounds of it. By the way, look after the true fans. They're the ones that will be your bedrock in the years to come, of course. Monthly releases, says Mike, have become almost, perhaps more openly indentured servitude. A couple, fewer publications per year offers freedom of creativity. That sense that your pull list almost becomes an obligation. Any thoughts on that, Dave?
As a collector, it's of course fantastic when you can have a new issue every month. That's preferable. You can go to the store. You have your pull list, as long as you know when to quit. When a story is no longer doing it for you, which sometimes happened. I collected the Savage Dragon from the very beginning, and after, I don't know, issue 175 or something, I just quit. It wasn't no longer for me. But having that monthly comic as a customer is of course fantastic. As a creator, it's a nightmare. As a small creator, these big like companies, they can do that. They have this machine running. As a small creator, you can't do that. So one book takes months to make. It is what it is. But also, I think that's the monthly schedule. Like every month, there are hundreds of new comics coming out every month. It's crazy, right? And it's kind of because they have to keep putting new content on the shelves. which also means that there is a lot of material that only had 1 month to actually become what it is, instead of a indie comic that takes more time to um, to produce. So you can think about it, you can work on it longer.
Yeah.
So the quality with indie comics can be like similar to that of good mainstream work, um, it and but also because they have this monthly schedule, you have a lot of filler books also, and with indie comics you can't afford filler.
Yeah.
Every book has to mean something, it has to matter. um, so you can't stretch out a concept like for 12 issues, what you see them do now in the mainstream. They write for the trade paperback, so they have like 2 or 3 trade paperbacks planned. So you have this one concept and you have to stretch it out across 24 issues, and so you have a lot of filler uh, in between that. And so indie comics might be a little bit more expensive, but it's more condensed.
Homemade cakes are the best, say we. And we like the fact that when you put something out, it's dense and it counts. You put everything you have into that hit with your indie comic baseball bat. Love it. Very, very good comment and question, Mike. You're on fire tonight in the chat, and we like the fact you're giving Dave some of the questions from chat that he usually gives from our chat
Yeah,
window to the other creators. God
I
bless
love
you,
it.
Mike. Moving swiftly on, we've got plenty here. Tell us about
Woo!
this magnificent cover, Dave.
Yeah, that cover is drawn by Alan Goldman. Alan Goldman made some promo pieces for me, and I at one point I just asked him, "Would you be interested in making a complete comic? You can just ask, And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So I was like, "Really? All right." And we were doing the Perfect 10 series, and Perfect 10 was kinda working towards something that uh, towards a spin-off series, which was called Safeguard, right? And so I proposed that to Alan, and that was the project. And he made this cover when we had some pages of the book done, and he made this cover art, and it was inked by Thiago Gomez, and it's colored by Brian McNaye. Brian also colors Art Bears series right now, black and white. It's called. Um, and yeah, it just spectacular. And this is the kind of comics that I would gravitate to when I see this in the store. This is my thing, man. The art style, the tough looking superheroes, the name, everything works for me. I love this.
Tell you what, we go into a comic book store and we've got a choice between that and something absolute. We're picking Absolute Safeguard. And we are trying to behave ourselves on a very short leash tonight, but hey, you're here. You're doing the speaking for us. And we like this comment from Mike again. Homemade always rules, Kyle. Amen to that. Give me some homemade rock buns as a tier for anybody's indie comic campaign, and we're on it like a rash. Absolutely. Right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, as Mike says, what a cover.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm so you know I'm so grateful that this happens, that people support it, and that I get to work with these amazing talents. And it's crazy. Look at this. This is the back cover. This was actually a promo piece drawn by Pau Rodrigues. Pau is fantastic, uh, fantastic guy to work with, a fantastic artist. Did um, he finished the last page of Perfect 10 Book 6 this weekend. So, which is the complete arc. And he was there from the beginning. So we made this complete arc together. And he did this drawing, and it's colored by Federico Sioc. And I loved it so much. I was like, we have to give this to the backer. So this will be the back cover of the book, and this basically depicts the villains, the antagonists of this story.
Tell you what, remember Steve Jobs, unfortunately, dearly departed CEO of Apple, once saying that his dad taught him that the back of something is really important. You know, for example, a sideboard, you make it with carpentry, it's very important. Yeah, people maybe don't look at it as much or can't see behind, but you know it's there. And it's, as we said in part of our promos for your Safeguard Indie comic, we said when the back of your indie comic looks this good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what can you say? Mike's saying, Art's current black and white books are very good looking. He also says, Dave, this piece by Pow is also awesome. We say absolutely. Looking. For some reason, it also invokes 90s imagery from Doom and Doom 2 right now.
Oh yeah. I could see that, like the demonic aspect, stuff like that. Yeah, man.
Right there. Yeah. Played a bit of Doom in our time of we. 1 and 3. And also, what was the other one on Mac? We played the Marathon trilogy, Marathon Infinity. Right, Max says here the colouring composition, I think, is just. I think he's feeling the love on this back cover, which looks like it could grace any indie comic front cover. Being honest.
Yeah. It's nuts. The coloring's fantastic. Federico is a true talent. He's a color master, and we had to. So these characters were created for this particular book. I had basically just one character of all of these that I had from the 90s, and the rest was added through loose ideas that I had. And then we had to find the right dynamic of this group. So you have all these guys together. So you have to have a lot of variety in design. So it had to be designed. So a lot of work went before we even started the book. Right, we had to design these characters, and two of these characters got completely removed. So two of the original characters, they got replaced by new ones. And a third one got completely reworked, all to get the perfect team of villains together.
All right, so balance.
The balance. Sometimes things just don't work, and it's not something you can explain. It's just a feeling. Like if we change this little thing, it will be much better. And sometimes this means removing a character completely. But it worked. So I'm very pleased.
We can see why you're pleased. It's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. We don't have a trailer, but what we do have is some interior art that looks absolutely well. Tell us about the interior pages as we go through them, Dave.
Yeah, this is drawn by Alan Goldman. So he's the artist on this book. It's inked by Everson Lirio. This is the first complete book where I work with a inker, because Alan just doesn't really ink. And it's colored by Brian McNaye. The entire book will be colored by Brian, and it's lettered by Joel Saavedra. And Joel letters all the Genuine Comics books, so it's always quality. I love these guys. It's really good. And this story is so these characters come from the Perfect 10 series, but you don't need to read anything of the Perfect 10 series to be able to follow this. This is the opening page. You get your introductions, you get the settings, you get the characters. They all get their moment. You get to know them, and it's basically so you have 10. So Perfect 10, right? It's drawn by Alan, different style, still recognizable. I love the way he draws her. And then we have Stellar, which is another character in his human form right here. And he's kind of a nerd. So he's like, he likes so he likes history and ancient artifacts and stuff like that. And 10 is a synthoid. She's basically new to this universe, to this world. So he thinks, let's take her to the museum, which is called the Hall of Antiquities. And so this guide, he tells them, this is one of my favorite what you call it, displays, the Revenant cloak, and which basically the story goes that it's a portal to the afterworld, so people can summon their loved ones back to this world, right? And so 10 says, we have to destroy this thing, right? And so because she can't grasp why would you keep a portal to hell in the middle of a museum in the largest city of the United States? So she has to learn that these are like stories, and she doesn't know yet what was real, what is not real, because she is created. She fights like metanormals, which is what we call these superpowered characters. So she sees a lot of weird things. So she can't comprehend yet that a portal to hell is just a story. It's a fantastic setup. I love the setup because you have, for one, you have a fantastic location. You need a cooler location for your story. You get to know the characters, and you get to see like what's important to the characters. And one of them loves these artifacts, and the other one is brand new and doesn't really comprehend the world, which is fantastic. It just worked, on so many levels.
The background detail is sensational, and we do like the colouring here. Your colourist is on fire, or as we call it, on bokeh. We love the bokeh effect in photographs, and say the way it's been used here between the two characters, just in the background, with that kind of a gossamer romantic kind of rainbow style, just beautiful. Your
the art is so yeah. You have to also a lot of praise to Evers and Lirio, the inker, because
sharp inks.
Yes, because Alan can draw very sketchy, and so the inker has to also do a lot of drawings. Sometimes he has to figure out what all these scratchy lines mean and stand for, and within these sketches he has to find the shapes, and sometimes it's a challenge for him, but he manages, man. It's fantastic. And we had like this. I was looking for a inker, so we had a couple inkers respond to this job. So we gave them all like sample pages, and Lirio just won. He was just the best one, so we're taking it very seriously.
We've seen Lirio's work before, and I tell you what, we can only call what's he inking with? Excalibur, a sharp sword. I mean, those inks are absolutely razor sharp, and the way, to get the truth of a series of lines into one, that line that is visually what is intended by the penciler, and to actually make it this focused is a special kind of talent. Well done, Lirio. Shout out for you. Mike, comment here. you could have offered at Dockside 1981 a backgrounds only edition, and you probably would have gone for it. Wink. Yeah,
Yeah,
and also,
yeah.
go
He likes the backgrounds. Sometimes you see comics with not many backgrounds, but luckily Alan is all about settings. That's
Yeah, you
great.
just look at those settings, and clearly your man knows what he's doing with those backgrounds. I mean, and some of those are quite complicated. Like the vaulted ceiling, almost like Crystal Palace was a building we used to have before it burnt down in English history.
All
And
right.
it's that sense of a glass ceiling, and it's vaulted, and it's then the colorist has got to put in the subtlety of all those different blues and the panes of glass. This is a lot of work. I mean, it's detail. It's curated creativity. It's a standard, isn't it? And almost here on the character, Mike's saying, I can almost see civilian Stella wearing a bow tie and thick rimmed spectacles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've got more art pages. There's so much good stuff on the interior from your crowdfund that we couldn't help ourselves. We got carried
Sure,
away.
man. Yeah, man. Look
Tell
at
us
this.
about this page.
This is page 2. I removed the text here so you can actually like gaze at the art. Plus, sometimes you don't want to spoil too much, So,
Oh,
but yeah, it's so here you see like tennis being calmed down a little bit. Look, it's just a story, blah blah blah, and then they kind of she is afraid that she is ruining Stellar's day. And Stella's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm just enjoying my time here. So these she's trying to make friends also. She's part of this team now, and so she's trying to fit in, And then we have this mysterious character at the end here. What's his story? We will find out.
yeah.
Uh,
We
but
like the way.
great visual storytelling.
Well, yeah, the visual storytelling. When it works without speech bubbles, you're onto something. And we
Yeah,
like the sweet way that 10 is trying to fit in. It's kind of cute. That makes her endearing to us.
yeah, love her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's apparent from the work we've seen so far the last few years. Now, we couldn't resist this when the back of your costumes looked this good. But you know what we're saying, right? Tell us about this page.
Yeah, I basically this stems from the fact that I wasn't really happy with some of the costumes that these characters had, and it is a kind of thing within superhero comics that sometimes they change costumes, and I wanted to play with that. And you have the character in the upper left corner, first panel. She appeared in one of the Earthling comics many years back. She is like the fashion designer for superhero costumes, and I could finally bring her back into this comic. So she basically so these two heroes, you get their introduction while they are trying on these new costumes, right? And then they get like called in because there's a problem they have to deal with. But it's a great way to introduce new characters, plus put them in new designs.
And we like the fact that you have a progressive outlook on civilian appearance, costumes being able to change rather than the same look for 70 years. That this makes the indie comics feel much more personal, organic, and alive rather than just rinsing and repeating a husk of an idea.
Mm,
You know?
yeah.
Next page.
Yeah, this is this first page, just how it starts. This is the pencil layer, so you can see the details. We are also like putting together a pencil edition, so which will be only pencil art from sort of raw pencil work. No colors, no inks, nothing. So you can, if you are a fan of Alan Goldman's pencils, art style, his details. This is a fantastic addition to your order.
Actually, an interesting point there, Dave Brink, is that a very affordable way to access the original pencils without paying a fortune.
Sure. Yeah.
And just look at these pencils here, folks. You've got construction work in the background. You've got cranes. You've got cargo equipment. You've got a plane. You've got people in the outfits. Civilian stuff, construction context here. But just look at it. Look at the perspective work here in the background. To me, it bites, even without the balloons and the colouring. It bites. It shows you that the foundation and the bedrock of what Genuine Comics does is right here. You can just look at that and go, yeah, we get it. Image. It's good now, if not better in some ways than it was then.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's so Alan can basically draw anything. When I write something, doesn't matter what it is, he can draw it all, man. It's fantastic. And the scene also, I like to introduce characters, but also use scenes to add different layers to things, because this guy called Iceberg at the construction site, so you can see what he does when he's not playing superhero. Plus, they are like building a new power tower in the Perfect 10 series. The power tower got damaged because of a attack there. So it's kind of a callback, but you don't need to read the Perfect 10. But it's really cool that it's connected somehow. Not only the characters, but also the locations, the settings, the actions.
I mean, he's a big bloke and he's in shape, and that's we call that nonchalance or casual ease. He's shifting some weight there. I tell you what, Mike. He's on fire tonight in the chat. We're going to have to get some water and put him out. Actually, at this rate of going, he's inferno in the chat. So here we go. Mike, Wisp is the very first character, I think, from a couple of slides ago, who I was lucky enough to have Pal sketch for me. So he likes the character of Wisp.
Right. Yeah, that was in his art book, right? Pal had his own art book, and in the back he drew a character for some people. I think that was it. Yeah, really cool.
Great comment here. We like this kind of coming up with this kind of stuff ourselves, but Mike has stolen the march on us with this one. Everson has to be a lightsaber inker to handle Mr. Goldman's sharpest of many, many pencil lines. You actually said it better than us. We've got to give you a gold star for that one, Mike. Yes, we like that one. We'll be using that one for future reference, no doubt about it. We'll take that one, add that one to our armory of choice cut comments. More consistent writing than too many image series, if I do say so, because you've got one guy, CEO, controlling the whole picture. So you've got creator, ownership, direct to the reader with very little noise in between. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, thank you. To begin with, Mike, thank you so much. I do think that that early image, most studios, because most studios were basically, I think, overseen by one character, by one person, like Silvestri and Jim Lee. But they had characters, but not really a vision for them. I think they had a basic concept, but they kind of counted on the visuals and on the designs and on their own star presence as creators. I think so. It kind of, most of these series didn't amount to much, never reached the potential they had. I think that's the thing. And with my own creations, I can basically do whatever I want, and I want to do it right, because I can only make so many books per year, so I have to be really picky with the things that I can produce. So if I produce them, it has to be good. I can't go back and reproduce it. So it has to be good. It has to be the best story possible with the best artists. Uh, it has to be worth my time. It has to be worth the time of the entire creative team. It has to be worth the money from the backers. So I take that very seriously. I don't want to produce something just for the sake of producing it. It has to actually mean something, has to matter at some level, you know?
Absolutely. And what we say is that's right, Dave, says Mike. And we think Mike is spot on. That's what we think. Tell you what, we've got some more gorgeous, raw,
Wow.
naked graphite art. Look at this double page spread. I mean, what do you say, Dave Brink, to this? Let's
Yeah,
just spend a moment just staring at it.
it's jaw dropping. It's jaw dropping. When I got this in my mail, I was like, holy, I look, I knew Alan was good. There was a reason that I wanted to work with Alan Goldman, right? But he rised above my expectations. So I sent him the script and it goes in bursts. So I send him part of the script, and then often the next day or 2 days later, he is already done with the pencils, and he sends me the pencils, and it blows my mind, man. It's you can see that he really is into the story and into the sequence, into the scene. He really gets it, you know. Um, he's having fun, and that's important to me also. Before I start a project with a artist, I asked them, what would you like to draw? What is your favorite thing to draw? You know, and then I try to find something that kind of fits their own likes. So that way they give me the most. They enjoy drawing it. And in this case, look at this, man. This is phenomenal. I have no
Yeah,
words, man.
well, there are no words really. I mean, that's if there's a better Museum of Antiquities double page spread
Yeah.
anywhere in indie comics, or the not so big too. Let them prove it, because we haven't seen it. I mean, just look at that. That is gold.
Yeah, but also things that he puts in there himself. So I in the script I never said that there was this galleon, the ship, uh, or some other elements. He just adds that in. And I'm like, holy shit, there's an entire ship in this museum. That's fantastic. And this is why it works that we work in segments, so I can later integrate his visual ideas into the script pages, into the
What
next scenes.
what we like about this, behind this, you've asked your artist, what would you like to draw?
Yes.
And that's why he's giving you the extra. You've given
Yes.
him autonomy, freedom, and that isn't that the whole basis of indie comics, the very freedom that you're enjoying in creating these comics. You pass on and share that freedom with your team as well, and that's why there's perhaps this synergy, this alchemy, you know.
Mm.
Mike says on this one, that spread looks like a place that I want to go just the day before right now. Hey,
Yeah,
why not?
not today. No, but the day before. Yes.
Take this one. I mean,
Wow.
wow is the word, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's gorgeous.
that's crazy, right? That's insane.
I
The
mean,
composition, the balance, it all works. You know,
it's just that imposing bit of shadow. The kind of angle is imposing, you know. We're at
Mhm.
a slightly worm's eye view, we're slightly below them, and it's just
Yeah, the perspective also. When you see how Alan works, everything is like perspective lines everywhere, and then he
every
draws over that. So there's a lot of work before he even starts to draw in these characters. All these perspective lines. It's nuts,
yeah,
but
and
it pays off.
well, yeah. I mean, it's all the prep work you do,
Mhm.
or you can even get to this stage as well with the perspective and the vanishing points and so forth. You want to draw many beautiful women, Alan? Here, welcome to Genuine Comics. There's no doubt that there is an allure of a kind of Parisian, dazzling female energy in some of the work, which is nice to get female characters and the male characters looking as if, well, that's a kind of a gauntlet down in terms of a standard for indie comics, isn't it? And it's showing we can break that glass ceiling of quality from the writer, the penciler, the inker wielding sword, the colorists with the rainbow palette and bokeh, and just the overall sense of quality. It's a paper comic you're going to want to feel, smell, and look at, because digital's okay, but it's hard to beat a real paper comic in your hand and all that goes with it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I also didn't ask Alan to. So this villain group has one babe in it, and he put her up front. I didn't ask him, but he just likes what he likes. He knows what readers also like. So no explanation necessary.
But he knew as an artist to make that the apex focus of the team as
Yeah.
well, yeah? So here, tell us about this page. I mean, lock and load, 10.
Yeah, man. This is so here she is confronted by these new enemies, and she is so they kind of uh, give her the information that uh, they're looking for the guide, and the guide, so the museum guide, and the museum guide is like me. What did I do? So now she's tasked with protecting the guide from these enemies. So yeah, it's so well done. It's so well drawn. I just love this.
Yeah, and as Dark Side is Comics 1891 says, laugh out loud, no backgrounds, no buy.
Yeah,
Yes, those
yeah,
backgrounds are phenomenal. Hey, and here's a bit of a page showing Alan's prep work in flight, yeah, along with those perspective lines, yeah?
yeah, yeah. Look at this. So every panel has its own perspective lines. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's that metamorphosis from that to the detailed pencils to the sword of inks
Mhm.
and then bokeh color. Now, we talked about the creative side extensively, and why wouldn't you when you've got the vanguard of indie comics, the Wild Frontier, on your show? So then, let's get down to business. Uh, there are three alt covers, right? There are three covers basically, A, B, and C. Tell us about them, please, Dave Brink, and how much they cost.
The first two, the colored ones are of the normal edition, the regular comic. It has two variant covers. The first one is drawn by Alan. The second one is drawn by Paul Rodriguez of Perfect 10. It's also colored by Daniel Rodriguez, also of Perfect 10. I just wanted these guys to also do a cover for this
We like
series.
we like the way you keep a consistent team and you reward the team that have stuck with you through thick and thin. So you kind of keep that real Lowgate family of creators. They're rewarded by your loyalty to them and vice versa. They'll put their shoulder into the pencil work. You didn't ask them to do all that extra detail in the Museum of Antiquities, but they did. Why? Because Dave and his underlying indie comics philosophy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Plus,
magic.
plus they work well together. We've been working together for 6 issues of one series right now, so we know things work. It's a it's a well-oiled machine now. So these guys like to work together. So let's give them as much work as possible. And then the third cover is for the pencil edition, so which will be without colors. So it's a exclusive edition. It will be printed in much lower numbers for the people who just enjoy Alan's line work. They can get that book. The regular comic costs $15. This comic, guys, is the most expensive comic that I've ever produced. I'm gonna be honest about that. It's books are always like they cost a lot to produce. This one was just a little bit above, which I thought I wanted to go there just to be able to work with Alan, and then we have to bring on the inker, so you have some more people involved, right? So it costs more, but it's fantastic quality. But it also means that I have to ask a little bit more for the comics, of $15. But you can get two covers, both are $15, and then the pencil edition, which is a exclusive book, costs $28 because it's exclusive.
Of course.
Yes.
What we like about what you're doing there, you're giving people permission to be customers depending on how big their wallets are. So, and what we mean by that, we'll talk about a little bit more in the next slide. But we like the fact that you've got the select team, they love working together. You've got freedom, you're sharing the freedom with them. You're the tip of the spear. You all enjoy working together. This compact, ambitious team showing you don't need a giant corporation to boost quality like this.
Yeah. It's just I sometimes think the smaller the team, the better. To be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone has their own vision. So when Pau draws something, he has his own vision. When I write something, it will never be drawn the way that I have it in my head, and that's fine. I want Pau to be able to visualize the story as he sees it, and so it's a combined effort. And that's the cool thing about these books. It's a small team. Everyone gets their own creative input, and the result is something really tight. Really works. You can see that the people really enjoyed working on it.
I'll tell you what, the way Pau draws the hair on that character, to me, just knocks it out the park. It's that sense that this is what comics are. You don't need to make it into movie to get hair like that. It's its own thing. You want realistic, go see a movie. If you think that teal and mustard movies are realistic,
Yeah.
Just saying, Fantastic Four and Superman movies from two different companies, but you've got color grading that's teal and mustard. Hey, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to question that. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Speaking of chaos, we've got just this comment here from Mike I have to put up. He says, layouts look like on page chaos to the genuine brand, do the genuine brand proud. But we like almost as a sense of controlled chaos to the layouts. There's this energy that crackles with a genuine comic. There's this, is that intentional? That there's almost a lot going on, but it's just got that sense of control where your eyes dance around the page. Is that intentional? That kind of compositional overload, but it's still very controlled.
Yeah, there's a lot happening, right? It's a like that's a sign of a professional, that you can throw a lot into a panel while still keeping the focus on the elements that really matter. That Alan and Pau, they are both professionals, man.
And here, look at Mike's comment again. Worth it. Look at those details. Black and white is what those with inker's eyes like to look at, and to kind of like whiskey, I guess, distill it down to a single blade of an ink mark. I mean, I tell you what, that graphite edition, that pencil edition, is going to go down a storm for people who want to see original art, but without obviously having to pay for the originals. Now, let's get to it. On this feature here, your own personal character commission. How much does that work out at, Dave?
I did this with campaigns, with Perfect 10 campaigns. So POW, with every campaign, POW offered like personal character commissions. So basically means that he draws any character you want, any character you request. Can be Jamieverse, can be mainstream, can even be your own character. We had a lot of variety. It's always fun to see what backers come up with. And POW will draw it for you, so it won't have a background, just the character as you see depicted. And you will get a high-res scan, and you will get the original art. So POW will first ship it to me, and I will make sure all the backers get it, right? And this perk, in this case, Alan. So I told Alan this, and I asked him, would you be interested in doing this also? And he was like, yes. So this is not so Alan is doing the same thing, so you can get your own personal commission from Alan, any character you want. And with this comes a signed book. So I will sign the comic book, both covers you will get, plus you get the pencil edition and the digital edition sent to your house.
Such a house, wow. I'm just saying to Mike here, love the comments tonight. He's been absolutely fire, just right there, ticking away. I tell you what, it's beautiful, beautiful. Now, couldn't resist. We've selected some of the tiers. If you want to talk about additional tiers, be our guest. And tell you what, we've got digital up there, the physical copy, the character commission, plus the pack. And here you've got the original cover art by Paul Rodrigues himself. Tell us about these tiers, please.
Wow, you put in the work, Kyle. Look at this. Yeah, digital copy. So if you like, yeah, I rather skip the shipping costs or whatever. We have the digital edition, digital copy. As soon as the book is finished, you will receive that in your mail. But that particular perk also comes with every physical order. So everyone gets the digital copy regardless, right? Then you can get Safeguard Cover A by Alan Goldman, the physical book. Then we have the Cover B by POW. We have the character commission. That's $250, the character commission. You get this whole package you see there. Plus we have original art. So in this case, we see POW's cover art. So POW is selling the cover art. You can get it through the campaign. It comes with all the books. Also, we also have the original. We have the back cover art also, and we have the double page spread that you showed earlier with the museum. That's spread. The original is also available.
How much is a double page spread? We've got to ask Dave.
I believe it's $800.
Now, to me, you got to think about things, folks. They're exclusive, yeah? One-offs. You're not getting another one. So that is reflected in the price. And we feel that in some quarters indie comics, and it's just a learning curve for us all, that yes, it's art. Yes, we love it. Yes, we're writers. Yes, we're artists and so forth with letters, colours and inkers. But it is also a business. Art, commerce, or as it used to be called, commercial art. So we ourselves on our 10th business plan, and basically we found we had one document that was creative, but we balanced it with a business document that took care of the commercial side of things. Our first one weighing in 500,000 words. Hey, not something you take into a bank. But we also did one which was only a page long, which had to fit onto a single A4 page, because when we read Alan Sugar's British entrepreneur, Dragon's Den style, The Apprentice, he basically said, if you can't tell me how you're going to make money by Wednesday in your first week of trading, I don't want to know. So it's all on one A4 page, you know. So we've done it, the crazy version where we've got it out of a system, but also the A4. Well, how's it going to make money, son? You know. So anyway, look at those 4 tiers, folks. If you want some original artwork, and we like the way Dave Brink at Genuine Comics generally offers value added tiers. Yeah, you know what you're getting. It's pretty clear. It's budget friendly. So if you want a low ramp to get in on the Dave Brink at Genuine Comics bus, you can do a digital copy. Very friendly for international customers, the way things are going with shipping. Yeah. But you want paper comic, it's also affordable. It's a little bit more than usual with Genuine Comics, but this time they're putting everything in with some gold pencils. That's what you're paying for. It's costing a little bit more to hire some new people to the Genuine Comics family, but you know, a modest fee for a dense return. You know, narratively, artistically, you can see from the presentation so far, folks, this work sings. Why do you create indie comics, Dave? Is it the freedom? And when did your journey with indie comics begin? Was it those early image days that kind of started you on, you and your mates doing your own comics, make some, buy some?
Yeah, I just liked. I knew that I wanted to make comic books. I wanted to work for Marvel, you know. But so if I even like sent them pages like my portfolio. I got this neat letter like, hey, you need some more practice, you know. But if I had been hired by Marvel, I would have been working for Marvel. But I create indie comics because I have to find my own way, right? And yeah, the freedom is great. It's also sometimes stressful because it's very uncertain. Sometimes you start projects, you 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 never really know what catches on, what people really latch on to. So that's always, you have to take some risks. That's part of it. But the freedom is great, and that you can make whatever you want to make, and that's great. Plus, you don't have to. If stories don't work out, you have no one else to blame but yourself. You know, so you can't complain about mainstream. When you work in your own story, you have complete control. You know, and that's cool. That's great.
Spoken by a stoic male who endures the creative pain of creating indie comics.
Not always.
Tell you what, just a comment from Mike here before we go on to this signature slide of the show. Mike says, my backing was the very first commission backing of the campaign. Alan drew the genuine character Calamity, White Queen Hellfire Club, sensual, yet with grace. Yeah, we say, Mike, without grace, there is nothing.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for that backing, the generous backing. Thank you so much.
I would just put in the comment to Mike there. Poetry.
And Alan, so as soon as I knew from Mike which character he wanted Alan to draw, Alan started it. So Alan's very quick. So if you back that particular perk, you will get your drawing within a few days.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround. That's lightning fast, but with the quality.
Yeah.
True pro. Now, Dave, this is a little question we have. It's part of the big five, because back in the day, there was no YouTube. Back in the day, you had to randomly wait for one of the big two issuing cheap UK prints, care of DC Superheroes or Marvel UK. And occasionally, they'd have an interview with the creator or show pictures from Joe Staton's design work for The Huntress. Yeah. And these days, we have the power of the gods allowing us to do, with this Star Trek technology, an interview with somebody from Holland, you know, and to find out what Dutch Genuine Comics sounds like, all little miracles. What advice would you give aspiring creators from your journey? Because on this show, we listen, we learn, and we share. How do we turn that mini Dave into the full-grown Dave?
Mini Dave into full grown Dave. Oh no. What advice would you give to aspiring? There is there is the there is this socially acceptable answer, and there is my brutally honest answer. And so first off, the socially acceptable answer is make whatever you want to make. So because oftentimes people will tell you this I don't like this, I don't like this. But the fun thing about is being your own creator, that you can do whatever you want, right? So stay true to your own vision. Don't let yourself like be sidelined by what other people rather have you make. Plus, if you want to learn how to do this, think about the books that made you want to do this. So if you reread those comics, what is it about these comics that you find appealing, that attract to you? Try to break down these comics, like story wise, art wise, the way they are constructed, and so you slowly learn why these things work. Some comics work and some comics don't, and you can also figure out why that is. And once you figure that out, it makes it easier for you to create your own, to construct your own stories, your own comics, right? And think small. So don't think like I'm going to be the next Marvel. You won't. So just think small. Make one book. Just make something and deliver it, produce it, finish it. Don't be like it doesn't have to be perfect. The things that we made when we were in school, when I see them now, it's kind of crappy, but we made it, right? We did something. We made it. And that's something to be proud of, that you do something with it, and you can slowly grow from there, you know. And
Discipline.
then, yeah, and then my honest answer would be don't. So that's yeah, that's because it's guys, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of headache, it's a lot of financial stress. It's also a very, very competitive market. It's very saturated. So if you really want to do it, it takes a lot. So make sure and build your network. So that's important also. There are people out there who have knowledge that you do not have. So build your network, reach out to other people, find help, because you will need it.
Yes, excellent advice. Our resident in-house expert tonight and creative leader, Dave Brink, telling you how it is and how it is. Yeah, listen if you have ears. This is liquid gold for any repeat viewings on Restream. And as Mike says here, advice made wisdom through repeat experience. And just that experience of make product, sell product, the initial primordial genuine comics, the discipline of turning up, making stuff, going somewhere, selling stuff, meeting your crowd, your public. Yeah. Tell you what, Dave, have you ever heard of the article 1,000 True Fans?
1,000 true fans? No.
We will DM it you. Very interesting, because it talks, if you get another 999 like Mike, you'll have a super comfortable, don't have to be a millionaire, don't have to be a millionaire, but you'll have a comfortable, super comfortable quality of life and living. Because somebody like Mike is exactly what we want. If you had only one fan, he's the guy that will get you the second fan, then 10 fans.
Yeah.
And march to those, what are the numbers? 1, 5, 10, 25, 50, 75, 100. Repeat. 1,250, 1,500, 1,750, 2,000. As we cross these bulkheads of sales and fans, want those 1,000 true fans, folks, go and read the article. We'll link it, Dave, later on in his gems. And it's quite profound in terms of you don't need to be the big two. They're not even the big two anymore. You can have a sufficient amount of people who believe in you as long as the person has a vision, not just cool concepts, as he probably had in the primordial Genuine Comics days, but a natural vision to go with it. Something that perhaps, as you rightly said, we meant to chip in earlier, that Image Comics probably had the cool concepts, but didn't quite have the vision in the early days. That's where Genuine Comics comes in.
Yes.
Right, got to have a bit of fun here, Dave. What superhero would you be? For us, it'd be Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Iron Man if it's Team Red. We wouldn't mind being Linda Carter, though, her Wonder Woman. We certainly wouldn't mind that, or her carrying us over the threshold. Either will do. What would your superhero be if you could be any, Dave Brink?
Oh wow! What superhero would you be if I were a superhero? What superhero would I be? Ah,
10?
I yeah, it's kind of lame to pick my own superheroes. So I will go with Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Uh, I could kind of relate to him, to that character when I was young, because he was kind of lonely.
Yeah.
Hulk just wanted to have friends, you know, and so he was also socially awkward. And then you had the little nerdy guy, which was Bruce Banner. So I could relate somewhat at some level. Plus the fact that he can Hulk out when he's angry, that's just awesome. So that will be great when you'll be able to do that. So I'll go with the Hulk.
Yeah, he was our first Team Red hero, and then it became Iron Man. But we've always got a soft spot for the Hulk. We understand all the reasons you said and more. We can relate to them on a personal level. All of that, you know. He's one for the geeks. He's the geek that gets to Hulk out and go on a rampage to let it all out, you know. And all the people that kind of thought you're not cool, we're going to give you some attitude. He gave them just a little bit more attitude back than they could handle. Just what they call it, natural justice and karma.
Yeah.
Right. Bonus questions, not too many, because we don't want your lawyer on standby. That big window from The Simpsons. We don't want Dave crashing through it. We just got a couple more questions for you. Right then, what are your plans for Genuine Comics going forwards, Dave?
I'm going step by step. So I have some books that I want to make. I have so many concepts that I really have to be very picky about which scripts we're going to pursue, which concepts we're going to produce, because once something is successful, it will take years of my life, years of investment, which is fine, but this also means that a lot of concepts we can never do. There's just no time. So I will be picking concepts. That's a ongoing project. Then we will produce more books, and that's book per book. So just a book and the next book, and so that's just the way we do things, and hopefully slowly grow the audience, so we are 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 able to create more quality comics. So keep up the quality. That's basically what I want. And
Just go on, keep going.
no, my plans, I don't think too big. Like I said, my plans are fairly small. Just finish the book, finish the next book.
Have you thought about doing one shots to handle a series of one shots to handle that extra idea kind of percolating inside you? Is it something you've considered?
Yeah, Safeguard right now is a one shot. I started Perfect 10 also as a one shot, and then it got successful, so I could continue the series. But some concepts are just bigger than one issue, so I need to be certain that we can continue for the next few years. So if Safeguard is successful, it will be a series. But for now, it's one book, and this is the way I approach every new title.
Got a question from Mike here. Dave, did you plan on having an additional Kickstarter campaign for Perfect 10 issue 6 and the Perfect Collection?
Yes, there is a pre-launch campaign on Kickstarter right now. People can sign up. We will launch that early next year, so after the holidays. We will launch that, and by then I think that the book will be done also. So which is great. This also goes for the Safeguard campaign. By the way, it's now on Fund My Comic. I like to support Fund My Comic, so that's where we launch first. People often get the best deal there also. And after that is done, we will early next year we will also do the Safeguard campaign on Kickstarter.
Excellent. Hopefully that answers your question, Mike. Mike's been on fire with the questions tonight. We like the cut of his cloth. Now, favorite pizza?
Oh God, favorite pizza. I think it. I don't know any name of a favorite pizza, but I like anything with mushrooms and spinach. And you have like this jackfruit. They can make jackfruit, and they can make it all like what's it called? Like fibery
Yeah.
with herbs and also it's so good. When you give me a pizza with all of that, I'm happy.
Well, right now, if you threw everything on that pizza, we'd probably have our knife and fork right here and just put our face down in the middle of it. That's kind of where we're at right now, just saying. No, but love it. Favorite pizza? Hey, if it's got some gooey cheese in it and it's got a nice base, tell you what we do like is chicken and mushroom, thin and crispy. Kind of hits the spot for us. But I tell you what, almost every guest entices with another pizza we haven't heard of. I think actually we might trying that as well.
Right.
So anyway, we are now almost at the singularity, at the event horizon.
Wow.
Where can I know this widescreen edition of the 5 pillars of storytelling? How to do it, folks? It's not often you get the vanguard of indie comics at the wild frontier on your show, so we had to make it count. Just like Dave Brink and his comics, he puts everything in them and the kitchen sink to make them count. He can't afford to have a non-hit. It's got to count. It's got to hit. So where can they find out more info, Dave Brink?
People can follow me on X, and I also have a profile on Instagram. I have a page on Facebook. It's all called Genuine Comics. If you go to these platforms and look for Genuine Comics, you will find it. Plus, I have my own website called genuinecomics.com, and you can.
Your website.
So all our comics go there eventually for people to purchase. We also have digital options, so you can also purchase digital comics there. So what we do, we have a new book. It goes through the crowdfunding system, then it goes through conventions, and after 1 year approximately it goes onto the web store. So you can get the entire back catalog. No, not the entire. Some books are sold out, but what we still have, you can get there.
So if Azrael wanted to go to your website and get issue 2, that glorious motorbike cover, can we get that from your website?
Yes.
Already tempted. And another question that was, when you were talking about the future of Genuine Comics, we were thinking it was scrolling across our forehead was Dream Girl.
I like to do a sequel to Dream Girl. Yes, I love to. When I have some extra leeway financially, I'd love to do that. I have ideas for it. I also know that there will be a second issue of American Bliss also, and which is written by Michael Oden, and Michael also likes Dream Girl, so she will show up there also. So the character is not forgotten. She will show up in other books, but hopefully also the second issue of her own title.
Can Azrael go to your website and get Dream Girl
Yes, the
as a
first issue.
digital
Yeah.
option? Wow. Okay. That's two at the front of our mind right now. Our hive minds are currently processing that. Right then, what do we say? Humility, gratitude, grace, gentleness, and generosity with his time. He has. Dave Brink reminds us, the CEO of Genuine Comics, reminds us that every issue is sacred because with great power comes great responsibility for your readership. And we'd like to thank you for being our very special guest. We're honored that you gave up your pod tonight and took a little break to drink in those 200 podcasts, which is some doing. And you have risen phoenix-like with confidence and a star because Safeguard Perfect 10 is the vanguard of indie comics at the wild frontier. And we wish you well, the very best, Dave Brink, in terms of success and Godspeed.
Wow, thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure what to say besides thank you so much for offering me a time on your channel. I really appreciate it.
We've long coveted this moment, and we'd also like to extend our thanks to Mike in the chat, who's led the line very well. His parting shot is thank you to the both of you for the very classy interview of interviewer and interviewee both. Praise indeed, Mike. We appreciate it, and he gives us the bravo hand clap. Appreciate
Thank
that,
you, Mike.
We'll put him in the chat. Cheers, Mike. Do appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Right then, all that remains is for us to say, please like, comment, and subscribe to Dave's YouTube channel, to his space on X, where it's a follow. You only have to log in and click the follow button on both. Same for the 5 pillars of storytelling. We're not doing bad. We have climbed up to 165 subs, but we need to boost that higher. We'd like to get to 175, then 200. Nice landmarks, get a bit more. We're running at 5,550, something like that, 5,530, something like that on X. So we're not doing so bad on X. That's very much our home base, and we're focused on that. But we have tendrils extending out to Instagram and Facebook on the big four, pretty much like Dave Brink. So we're now going to play our outro music, and we're going to say thanks once again to Dave Brink for his valuable time. We appreciate it, sir, and God bless you.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.